Hi, I'm Ozro DeMill. I would like you to know a little bit about my life. I was born on November 29, 1863 in Schunsburg, Washington County, Utah. I was the fourth child of 11 children born to Oliver DeMill and Emily Almina Beale. My father, Oliver, also had 7 children by Fidela Wingett and 1 by Rebecca Jane Allred, which gave me a total of 18 brothers and sisters. I am the second son of the family. One interesting fact about my family is that my great-grandparents were Joseph Knight and Polly Peck. They were both well-known and respected members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Joseph Knight was particularly close to the prophet Joseph Smith, and Joseph used his buggy to retrieve the golden plates from the hill Cumorah. Joseph and Polly had a large family. Their descendants were also active in the LDS Church. Many became leaders and missionaries, helping to spread the gospel throughout the world. Being a part of this family was a great source of pride and inspiration for me, as I grew up in a community that placed a high value on faith and family. It turns out that my father, Oliver DeMill, was present at a pivotal moment in the history of the LDS Church. When the prophet Joseph Smith was murdered in 1844, there was some confusion about who would succeed him as the leader of the church. Many members believed that Sidney Rigdon, a close associate of Joseph's, should take over as the leader. However, when Brigham Young stood up to speak, my father witnessed a transformation in the room. According to his records, he felt the Spirit confirm to him that Brigham Young was the one who should lead the church. I spent most of my early years farming and repairing ditches near Schunsburg. The ditches were frequently damaged by raging floods on the Virgin River. I dug and stacked wild gourd vines at the head of the ditches to hold the water. On one occasion, as I threw down my heavy load, I found a large rattlesnake. The men working with me were anxious to kill it, but I refused, stating the snake had not bitten me nor done any harm. My compassion was a great quality. I met my wife Lily Cecilia Bliss and we married on December 26, 1893 in the St. George Temple. Lily was 16 years old. She was a beautiful woman. She was small, had dark eyes, black hair, and fair skin. I was known for being shy and people wondered how I got the nerve to ask Lily to marry me. We stayed in Schunsburg until 1902, and my first 4 children were born there. Later, we moved to Rockville with my father and other families, where our other children were born. In 1913, we relocated my family to Hurricane, Utah, while I worked on building the canal from the Virgin River to Hurricane. I earned my lot in Hurricane by working on the canal. My wife dried lots of fruit to trade for other merchandise. She made great pastries and was a good cook. She would deliver her pastries and self-rising bread to her friends and family. My wife was happy and made lasting friendships in Hurricane. My wife was a tease. She teased our kids but liked to tease me the most. I liked to take a teaspoon of sugar and throw it in my mouth. I remember she changed out the sugar with salt. She laughed till tears came to her eyes when I spit and shook my head. I never got mad. We never argued, and if there were problems, our children did not know of them. After we moved to Hurricane, my wife became pregnant with her twins and was ill most of the time. Her many friends gathered around her to give her help. I decided to bring her to the hospital in St. George to deliver. She gave birth to her twin girls, but one was stillborn. The other twin was barely 2.5 pounds and was a premature baby of 7 months. My wife named her Vida. We picked her up from the hospital and she was in a wagon with the new baby that lived and the one that had died. The boys were on horses following us and my wife Lily died on the way home by Berry Spring. My daughter Orpha was with me and the small baby. She closed my dear wife's eyes. Dola and Elva were riding in a buggy driven by Uncle Joe Griffin. This was on July 10, 1914. I was heartbroken. I was so lonely, and I never did recover. When I worked hard all day, I would come home and play the violin to ease the sorrow. The loneliness was unbearable. I just kind of gave up. It was really hard on Elva and Dola. They wanted a mother to love them and care for them and to teach them.